The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
What's happening, everybody? This is the Wrecking Ball SMS update and Q&A call. Let me know you can hear me. Gerald says, we got Mike, Edward, or Brian on the call. Just wanted to, again, share my thanks in all caps for all of their great help the last 2 weeks. I've started using the WB system. Excellent. Thank you, Gerald. Paul's here, Bob's here. Everybody says they can hear us. Excellent. What we do on these Q&A webinars, guys, this is Dave Igo. My partner Ed Hopkins is here, and we're going to be talking about the Wrecking Ball SMS system, and we'll be taking any technical questions that you have that pertain to the Wrecking Ball SMS system. We'll start the call by letting Ed go over what's new and what you're going to see in updates over the next couple of days or next week or something like that. I'll let him get into that, and then we'll take any and all questions that you may have. So, Ed, are you there?
I am here. Pass me the screen, brother.
I am passing you the screen. We'll tear right into it. Anybody that's late can watch the replay. All right. And I'm going to mute myself because there's a pretty good echo on my end, but I'm here.
Okay. The first thing I want to go over is we've added a blacklist. We've had several members come into our support desk saying that there's a possibility that their Twilio number was previously owned, so they're getting a lot of phone calls or maybe text messages that are eating up their credits. There is a Twilio blacklist, and you can actually add numbers to that blacklist by simply going to your settings page here for the client, click on blacklist, and just add a number to block, and just follow the instructions that are written or typed in red here. The next feature that we've added, this should be available probably beginning of next week. If you remember the scheduler that's sitting in the appointment reminder, that is being converted over and moved also to the scheduler, so you're going to have that same look and feel and functionality that you're used to. That's a lot better in the appointment reminder system than is in the current reminder system in the scheduler. The next thing, we're going to save the best for last. We've totally revamped the appointment reminder system as far as look. You can see that there might be some things that have changed in colors and appearance. That's more pleasing for the eye. But we've also added, for normal appointment reminders, the ability to add an after feature. So let's say you have an appointment and you want to send a thanks maybe 2 hours later after the appointment, and maybe send them to a link to give feedback. You now have that capability inside the reminder system.
So, and I just want to jump in here real quick, Ed. For those of you that know a little bit about this but haven't, even thought about it as part of your SMS efforts, there's a ton of completely hassle-free money to be made in appointment reminders and billing reminders. You'll see up at the top of the screen that this now says payment reminder, and there's a checkbox to turn that off and on. I'm sure Ed's going to get into that a little bit. But we've recently been approached by some companies we're talking about thousands of companies that understand the ROI, that all use a certain piece of software in their rental and point of sale systems to take payments. And there's a ton of opportunity for you guys to be selling payment reminders and appointment reminders. So with the changes that are happening here that Ed's about to show you, you can literally do anything for anybody with this, as long as whatever they're using to currently keep their appointments is capable of sending a ping to an HTTP post. So there's a ton of opportunity here for you guys with mortgage companies, payday loans, all of those kinds, rent-to-own electronics, all of those kinds of opportunities exist.
Apartment rentals.
Apartment rentals. Thank you, Ed. Yeah, anything that's rented on a monthly basis, really, anything that's rented, there's a ton of opportunity here. There would be a ton of opportunity even at like a small equipment rental. You could set up a system that says, your rental's due back in 30 minutes, take 25% off extending it for the day, kind of a thing. And you could get creative with this, but there's a ton of opportunity that exists in reminders, and this system with the new update is going to be as robust as you could ever possibly need it to be. So keep that in mind as Ed walks you through the possibilities here.
Okay, as Dave stated, we've added the payment reminder, and activating this feature is easy as hitting this checkbox here. There is a URL that you can provide to, let's say, a mortgage company or maybe a loan processing company, any company that has a piece of software that sends the billing out to the members or the customers that need to pay the bills. And you could provide this API, this entire page to them, and they'll know exactly what to do to talk to your system and to ping in reminders. And what's great about this system, from time to time, let's say you have late fees, you might have additional purchases on a loan, and that increases the monthly payment. Anytime they ping in, they can ping in the new information and automatically update their account. And when you set up your reminders, which I'll show you in a second, it'll automatically fill in and propagate those SMSs for you. So instead of creating a new one here, I'll go into one I've already made so you can get an idea of how this works. The first one is when you create an appointment, you can send immediate response that goes out. This could be, for example, Joe, your next payment is due on so-and-so date. I think I'm on the wrong template here. Dang it. And let's go here. All right. This looks a lot better. So you put in your client name, just for a reminder, your payment of AMT is due on month, day, and year, and it automatically fills in that information as soon as either we receive from the system, the corporate system, billing system. It's called the new account function. And this is found inside of the API here, right here. And all the instructions are given here, how they can pull that off. Now, there's two ways that you can set up an SMS here using a billing company as an example. We can go up to, I think, this first one, you can go up to 180 days and you can set your appointment. You have two options. You can set it for SMS, and then there's another option, ping SMS. If they ping this system, what will happen is it'll override any message you have in here, and they will always control the message on any reminder that you create. If you have it set for general SMS, if they try to ping in a message, your message will always override their message. And you could set these reminders, like I said before, up to 180 days before, but generally it's a 30-day cycle, the way payments work, and you can have late payments go up to, I think, 30 days. So you have approximately over 100 functions that you could use inside the system, and it can be taken from the API. And we're going to have full documentation instructions, video instructions on how to use this system here available to you probably by Monday morning, and I'll get that ripped up for you guys so you guys can go over it. So this is a huge opportunity for you guys to monetize your Wrecking Ball system even more. Now, just so you know, if you are planning on using payment reminders, it has to be used with shortcode. Because there's going to be so much SMS going out, that is one of the key elements that we decided needed to be part of the payment reminder system.
Yeah, so this is a good place to probably stop and take a couple of quick questions just about this, Ed.
Okay.
Let's see. Bob says, so the reminder message can be customized to remind anyone about anything, correct? Pretty much. You know, I don't know, I can't think of a situation where you wouldn't be able to do what you're looking to do. CC says, so can you explain what you mean by the software has to ping? If they're using, let's say they're using an appointment keeping software already, that system has to be able to send a trigger along an HTTP post. Basically, if you just show the admin if you have any questions about, find out what software they're using and let us know, and we can try and help. But if they have an IT person in-house, you should be able to show them the page Ed showed you, and they'll be able to tell you if they can do that. If they can't do it,
yeah, I guess a good example, Dave.
Yeah.
A good example, Dave, would be like a franchise for those payday loans. You see that they're popping up all over the place with similar branding. That's a good example too. If they can somehow connect to their IT guys at corporate, all this information can be passed on, and obviously they'll know exactly what to do. And it's probably, when we showed this to our first client with payment reminders, they had it done in an hour. So yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not that difficult. So John says, is it possible for clients to make a payment with their phone like Verizon does for my cell phone? Well, what we're actually working with a company that their payment system already has mobile payment pages. So then it's just a matter of putting a link to that page in one of these reminder messages. So the system does not have the ability to do pay by texting. There's all kinds of legalities in doing that most of you would not be willing to get into, so we don't support it.
You don't want to be handling people's credit card numbers.
Right. Roy says, is there ability to create a client's account that will use their own Twilio account? No, there's not. You would need to be in control of the Twilio sub-account.
The other option there would be to set up an entirely new install of Wrecking Ball.
Okay. John says, any ideas on pricing? I'm sorry, Ed, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead, man.
John says, any ideas on pricing? I can tell you that appointment reminders with 4,000 text messages have been packaged with our Project Loyalty software and are selling in the $250 a month range, but that's on an 80-store location. And individual appointment reminders, there's some range there. But if you're targeting, 7-8 cents a text, but flat rating, that's where I think you need to be. The ROI on this is tremendous. So it's an easy sale, and you don't really have to worry about giving it away. Go ahead, whatever I cut you off on, Ed.
No, I think I was finished.
Oh, okay.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
Let's see. How is the WooText shortcode integration going to work for Canadian shortcode owners? We'll get into that at the end of the call. Kevin, remind me. Copy and paste that question, so if I don't get back to it, paste it in again when we get to general Q&A.
Should we pass on that news too, Dave, that we heard?
Well, I emailed everybody yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
And I'll touch on it at the end of the call as far as international shortcodes. Let's see.
If I'm acting all aloof, it's because I get thousands of emails a day, and I'm really behind on checking my email.
Yeah, no worries. Bob says so it could tie into a client's billing and payment system, right? That's exactly right, Bob. That's what it's designed to do. And what about the buy here, pay here car lots? Michael, I think that's a phenomenal application for this, and I know that you have some inroads in that niche or vertical that I think would be fantastic for you to attack them. I think that would be a really good use of this system. Let's see. We'll cover how much shortcode. All right, Ed, keep going. Let's show them the rest of the improvements on the new.
Yeah, and just so you know, when you're approaching these business about payment reminders, they don't have to ping in the actual reminder messages.
Right.
As long as they can ping in a new account and the new due date on pay thanks when they receive the payment for the one that's already due, that's all they need to handle. And that's pretty damn simple to accomplish, man, with anything. Okay, next. We've added archiving of old SMSs. If you're looking at some of your tickets and debugging some of the issues you guys have, I've seen several of you guys where I get to this page, and this page just goes down forever. So what we've done is we've allowed you to archive old SMS messages that you sent, so you don't have to come to this page and see 1,000 different campaigns here or mass sends that you can do. Just simply click on Add to Archive List, click on OK, and it'll update, and now that one's gone. Now you just go, if you ever want to go back to that, just go to your archive list, and that should appear there. We're already there. Here we are. So another cool feature that we added, just to make things a little more cleaner for you. And this is the coup de grace.
Yeah, many of you have been waiting for this for a long time. And because functionality and all of that stuff is the most important to us, and getting you guys the features and the integrations that you need, this will end up being at the back of the list. But a lot of you have waited for this for a long time, so this is best seen instead of talked about. So Ed, show them that thing.
Okay, we have totally given this a facelift. You might be looking at this and saying, wait a minute, this looks like the same system I'm using. Well, before, this was all images. This entire page was all images. Anything that was graphical was an image, and it was pretty intensive when it comes to loading the page. This is now completely CSS, and it's fully customizable. You can customize your background still. You can customize the gradients, the border colors, the border radius, all that good stuff can be done, and I'm going to show you how it's done right now. And let's kind of use an example. It's going to be kind of crude. Just bear with me, okay? Let's first upload a logo. So this is going to look, I don't know, Dave. I went with this with you too, man. I haven't had time to put together a good little theme.
What's that?
I haven't had a chance to put together a good little theme yet.
Yeah, I know. You've been a busy guy. Ed's been burning the midnight oil to get this stuff done for you guys. So,
all right. So first we have our dynamic window colors. What we mean by window colors, if we go to SMS campaigns here, and let's say click on keyword, these are the dynamic windows. And you can see that we've cleaned these up as well. We've added a border, we've added shadows, and it just overall just looks pretty dang cool. But now you can customize the two gradient colors here inside this text field, the background color for the tabs, and I'm going to do that right now. So let's go, since our theme is kind of bluish, let's kind of go start with a dark blue, and then we'll kind of taper that off into a lighter blue. And then for our text color, we'll leave that white so it can stand out. In our tabs background, let's make that like a really light blue. And let's see how that looks. Let's get hopeful here. And refresh this page. That doesn't look too bad. But you can make it any way you want it to look. Next, I'm going to try to edit the colors and the border radiuses inside this section right here. So let's just steal some of these colors here. I'll take this color here, and this is the navigation panel here. So I want to go with my button background color. I'm going to put that as the blue, and then it's always a good idea to use white or a variation of white or very light color of like blue, reds, or whatever when you're doing your secondary color. That way the gradient kind of gives that full effect. And let's see, let's change my info box background color, same color. Oops. Paste that in. And then a link bar text color, we'll change that to maybe like, let's change it to a dark blue. We'll leave that white. And the button background color, I thought we edited that. I'll try it again. Oh, I did. Okay, so let's hit save here. Let's change the radius of the outer box to 20. Hit save. Come back here. Let's see how it looks. It's not too shabby, but you get the general idea how you can change the actual look of everything. Like I said before, these radiuses are customizable here. You could pretty much make these buttons round if you really wanted to. And let me go to the button border radius, and I'll take that to a 25. Hit save. And now you see they're almost round. So yep, you can customize that. Here's our gradient. There's our white going into blue. This color here behind the keyword, that is always going to be the same color that you choose as your first color in your gradient. So it has a nice looking appeal to it, and you can make it look however, like I said, however you want it to look.
Perfect. Pretty cool, huh, you guys? You guys have been complaining. Some of you have been complaining about that for knocking on a year. No, it hasn't been a year. When did we release this? Since about 6 months. So it's always been there to get back to it, and it's going to be in the next update. So that should help a lot of you guys that are really doing a lot of client traffic and want it to match your website and all those kinds of things. So Bob says, will a custom header logo image appear on both the login screen and the user interface screens? The Wootex branding stays in your admin, okay, but on a client login, it does change the background, right? But the client login sees your logo. Ed says you get 5 stars for this update. All right, guys. So any technical questions you have about using Wrecking Ball SMS, now's the time to put them in the question box. I do want to cover. A lot of people have asked about short codes. We currently have U.S. short codes, or short code of 69696 that's shared across a very limited group, so a lot of good keywords available. We do have international short codes in approval, with Canada being released this week. As far as we know, well, Canada's a done deal with 73737, and as far as we know, the UK is a done deal with 70307. We still don't know about Australia yet, but we do have short code service available to Wrecking Ball users. So if you're international and you're a founding member, we had a founding member sale about 2 months ago. If you're a founding member, you're either waiting for Canada, the UK, or Australia. We expect Canada to go live next week. We'll be doing a call more about the international short code service early next week, and those of you that want in on that now that it's coming to fruition, we'll have the ability for you to sign up for it. So Bob says, what's the current cost to buy into the 69696 short code? Bob, it's $27 a month, and that hooks to your Wrecking Ball system, and then keyword credits, and I don't even know what package we've got going. I think we've got a package on the sales page that gives you 5 or 6 or 10 keywords included in that $27. Text message credits based on volume range anywhere from 2 cents on up to 5 cents, I believe. Actually, I think we just posted a penny and a half package as well for volume users of 50,000 a month or more. So we really were. It's to the bone compared to a lot of other companies. A lot of other companies will give you a bunch of texts and a bunch of keywords as part of the package. But when you break it out, our service is the most affordable. And the coolest thing about it is because we keep it fairly exclusive, most of the good keywords, when you need them, are still available. So there's a lot of keywords you can get on our system that you just can't get on any other shared shortcode right now. Let's see. Tom says he's having trouble with the trivia SMS. And logical not working. The ticket was closed today, but I don't think it's fixed. Is this on your radar? I personally don't know about that one, Tom. I don't know, Ed, if you have that or if that's a Mike Rogers thing.
I'll take a look at that.
Well, if Mike closed the ticket, then I'm sure it's coming in an update soon, and it'll be there for you. That's the way they close those out. So. Let's see, is UK shortcodes testing going on? Okay, yeah, it's going just fine. We're not on our shortcode, Ken. We're on a shared shortcode, so we can test the integration and the development, but we don't have any problems, and we're going to be done with it long before approval, if I'm speaking correctly, right, Ed?
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, most of this is already done. If I go in here in the settings and shortcode information, and wait for this to load up, and then we have USA, UK, Australia. Canada, we just have escaped out so we can work with what we got. But everything's pretty much ready to go on our end.
Perfect. So we're just waiting. Bill says, where's the sales page? I knew this was going to come up. Let me punch a couple links into the chat box. Now listen carefully, if you're interested in Wrecking Ball SMS, let me do this one at a time. WB SMS system. And that's this link. Shortcodes for the US is going to be, I think we have a webinar on each page. On the US shortcode, we do not. but I can get you a link that does here. Let's see. Let me grab this one. Okay, there's that, and we do have a webinar up on international short codes if you're interested in those. And I actually, the deal, if you will, for international short codes on this page still has the founding member pricing on it. So I haven't changed that. We'll have a webinar to answer more questions next week, and by then that founding members deal will be over. So short codes INTL, and that is here. So if you look at the chat box, you can go there to get all of the information that you need. How much will it be for Canadians who didn't buy early bird pricing? We're still dialing that in, to be honest with you, Catherine. The founding members are getting a keyword and text credit package, so we'll hopefully be able to hold the $37 a month. It just won't come with the keywords and credits. So the founding members got in, made a commitment, and allowed us to do this. We have to take care of them. We have to reward them. So we think that's the plan. We're not positive yet. We'll know early next week. Michael says, if I forward a call with IVN to another number, am I being charged after the call has been forwarded? Yes, you are, Michael. You are. There's some situations where a call flow does that and you're not charged, but it involves the textbook answer is yes. If you set up a really involved call flow, test it. Take a look at your Twilio account and test it. Let's see. How does is this Ling available for everybody? I don't know what that means.
I think he means link.
Possibly, yeah. Yes, the link is available for everyone. I think that's the question, the buy link. There, it should be in the chat box. Just expand your chat box. Not the question box, but the chat box. Michael says, giving away 30 guns over 30 days, what would be the best way to accomplish the wrecking ball? I don't think you're going to be able to do it, Michael. I would be looking, talk to your lawyer about giving away guns, man, before you get involved, because you could get yourself in big, big trouble. Let's see. How difficult would it be to add a line chart so you can see how many calls per day over a range of time? Do we have that, Ed?
We don't, but actually it's already in development now. We've recently added some Bootstrap 3.0 coding, and we're going to be able to utilize some of the sweet functionality for graphs and charts that provides.
Got it. Ken says, with the implementation of the UK shortcode mean any changes to our current long code services? No, not at all, Ken. Not at all. You know, the only changes would be of added benefit to you for some legitimacy. I don't know if you're experiencing any carrier blocking. That's always going to be a concern, continue to be a concern, but in the UK, maybe not. I don't know. I don't live there. And when you get into sending big lists, it'll be available to you. So let's see. Mark wants to know if he can put his account on hold and if we can grandfather him in at the $67 a month. I can't really, Mark. I can't really grandfather you in, but I will tell you this. It's not going up from $67 a month in the foreseeable future. I'm sure it will be at that price probably through the tail end of the year. Don't quote me. Could go up at any time. I'm just being honest with you. Is there a mobile website template for we can use for our customer-facing site, kind of like what you gave us for the old SMS platform? Yeah, it's in here, guys. Ed, can you go to the /M or?
Yep, what you're going to do to change the look of, I think he wants to change the look of it. You're going to go to mobile theme info inside the settings. Change it to yellow, dark silver, silver, blue, black. That's what we got right now. And usually those are the best colors for mobile. When you start getting into the reds, things start getting harder to see.
Okay, I think, Mark, that probably answered your question. Let's see. What?
You talking about the SPS website, Mark?
A regular web? Oh, I see what you're saying. He's looking for a company website on the mobile, a front end.
Yeah, I think he's talking about SPS.
Yeah, we don't have that built into the Wrecking Ball system.
I think he's looking for a different theme for SPS. And
Yeah.
That's definitely possible. And there's actually somebody that was in the SPS Skype group when it was there that actually did customizations of the actual themes. He had several that he had designed. I'll have to see if I can hunt up his information. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Let's see. If I'm a founding member, how much does the fee for the short code? You mean for what country are you in? U.S. is $27 a month. UK, Australia, Canada is $37 a month. Can we edit themes now, or is that in the next update? No, this is in there now. This has been in there for a long, long time, Mike. Let's see, what else we got? What did I miss? I would like to see, where did that go?
We had one question, Dave, about is it possible to customize the CSS even further from what I have it right here? And the answer to that is yes. There is one CSS file that can be edited. It just you can't import a CSS. You have to edit what's there, and you'll be able to see that page when we do the video how to operate this entire theming system.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Zeke says my daughter's joining me. Can she use my login? Yeah, that's no problem, Zeke. You know, if you want to share logins with your employees or your partners, we don't really take issue to that whatsoever. There was a question in here about sharing a WootText shortcode account, and it's not going to cause us a problem, but don't expect us to ever take a side on who owns what keyword or who's getting what credits, and we're certainly not going to develop it, and it's against TOS, but I mean, if there was a legitimate reason to do it, there's a way to do it. I've purchased this and have not installed it as yet. I need to get after it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Make it happen. Go show it to some folks. It's pretty kick-ass.
You'll never see a robust piece of software like this at that price point, ever. Ever.
Right. Let's see. Will there be an update in the future on long codes? Will Wrecking Ball convert soon to full shortcode? We're not going to force you onto a shortcode, but I don't think you're going to have much success with long codes much longer, especially after, you know, the FTC regs that are going to kick in next month. So, and there's a special call. I don't know if I've mailed it yet or not, but we're doing a special call here in a week and a half on the new FTC regs. So that's definitely one you're going to want to see. We're just going to talk about how it affects text message marketing and take a look at all of those kinds of things. Let's see.
Yeah, I think in the last call, Dave, I think you addressed the lawsuit issue.
Yeah.
The HTTP and the URLs. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a dead issue. We don't need to talk about it. Everybody knows the deal. Mark says, who can I talk to about what's all included in my account? Mark, the best way is to put in a support ticket with all of your payment information. Let us know what PayPal email address you're using, and just ask the question in support, and we'll be able to tell you exactly what you're paying for and what you have available to you. Let's see. So if this was $200 for 10,000 texts and just one keyword for, say, one client, it would be $27 plus $200 plus $67 for Wrecking Ball. Any additional Twilio costs too. Well, yeah, you would have $1 a month because you do need to have a Twilio phone number hooked to the system by default. So that would cost you $1 a month. If you didn't use that phone number for anything, if you weren't doing Office notifications or anything like that, it would be $1 a month. Otherwise, if you were sending a text notification across that phone number, you'd have another penny into that text. David says, what's the benefit of hosting Wrecking Ball on my server versus your servers? There's no benefit in hosting it on our server. We have done that in the past for people that were having troubles or having install problems where we installed it on a server, but you're far better off to put this on your own server so you're in control of it, so you can get support directly from a hosting company when you have a problem. And it's not difficult to install. So we're better to just, you're better put it on your server. We really don't offer to host anymore. We'd rather install it on your server for you. And if you need help with that, just put in a support ticket, and we can get you into the hands of somebody that will do that for you. Thomas says, for the CSS, for the graphs charts, we're not displaying on my install. I discovered it was a CSS issue. I changed CSS from 90% to 300 pixels, 4 times total changes, and it fixed the problem. Mean anything, Ed?
What page? I don't even know what page that's on.
I don't know. Tom, if you could punch that into a support ticket, let us know what you did. That'd be fantastic. We can get it to the right people that way. Why is it that the mobile UI features don't seem to match the desktop features? That's probably because you have the mobile packages. Ed, can you show them where they turn on and off the functionality in the mobile pages?
Yes, you click on Manage on the client side. You're going to go to Payment Packages, and then you're going to choose the package that the client has. Click on Edit. And these are all the features that you're going to enable on their web portal, and this is all the features you're going to enable on their mobile portal. And you can do that by simply checking off what you want them to see, and then hit Save, and it'll change their package.
And the reason we do that, guys, is because most of you, if you're giving client access, are probably doing it through the mobile side only. Even if the people are on a desktop, they can just look at that mobile page, and it simplifies things for them. So many of you want to have full control over your client when you're logged in as them on your desktop, so you can enable everything on the package, change the mobile package, decide what your client's actually going to have access to, and then you just give them the mobile login. Dave, the link for WBSMS is to purchase. What's the link to download and install? I don't know. Let me find it for you guys, and I'll punch it in the chat box.
Isn't that the Member Center?
I think if they just go to wreckingballmobile.com, and I'm correct, copy.
Yeah.
Let me punch this in. Oops. Going in the chat box now. All right, that's in the chat box. My icons are missing on my dashboard. I submitted a support ticket. We'll get that routed, Mark.
Yeah, it sounds like you're missing the images directory.
Yeah, it does. Maybe when it was installed, there was a corrupt file transfer, corrupt unzip, or something like that, or the images folder got moved or accidentally dragged somewhere or overwritten or something like that. But that's my guess. So, Mark, if you put in a support ticket with your login details and your cPanel information, we'll get it figured out for you. Yeah, if they used to work, I'm going to bet that somehow your images directory on your server got jacked up. So, Hank says, just got in. I'm a customer. Looks great. Hope it's all being recorded. It is. All this is recorded, and inside the members area, we'll post this video. I'll tell you what, Ed. Let me. I'm going to pull the screen back from you here.
Okay.
And let's see. So, we're not fancy people here at Wrecking Ball, so you're going to get an email with your username and password, which is going to take you to this screen. And you can see here we have this divided into categories. So once you have your Wrecking Ball SMS, everything you need to know is going to be right here. And Ed, I think there's another question about what the most current version number is. Do you know off the top of your head? But
yeah, it's 6.9.11.
Yeah, we need to get this download updated.
Actually, what that is, Dave, that's the core, and that's kind of required. All they need to do when they install that is hit the update button. It takes 30 seconds, and it updates them to the most recent version.
Gotcha.
If you're currently on 6.3.18, you're about 80 versions behind.
So click the update button, and now that we changed my screen, the update button, for those of you, I won't click it, don't worry, Ed, but when you click on manage, the update button is right here. Okay, so click that update button.
And that only appears if there's an update available too.
All right. Let's see. Are more members managing their clients or letting their clients manage their own campaign? No, a client who manages his own campaign is a guaranteed failure. He doesn't need you. Everybody that we're in direct communication with that is succeeding with SMS is absolutely taking care of all of the details and not getting their client access. That's just the reality. Other than setting up a mobile page so the client can send an emergency message, clients are strongly encouraged to contact somebody before they do that and formulate a plan. I highly recommend you go through the 30-day challenge, which is included as a bonus. Included in the 30-day challenge is the standard operating procedure Bible for SMS that you can give to your clients, and go through that. This is good information. I can't tell you how important it is that you become familiar with your system before you go sell it. Gerald's got a book in here. I'm going to read this quick. Interested in what others are charging a client each month for shortcode package of, say, 3 to 5K text per month, because if it's around 300 to 400 a month, just to be part of the shortcode, interested how are they selling for a profitable price? I have a local Little Caesars signed up for $400 a month with long code use. Figure with costs of 100 to 200 a month, depending on the text volume, that leaves 50 to 75% profit for me, and that's with long code use. If I use the shortcode, I would be at 0 to 25% until I had a handful of clients to share the same package. Well, I don't understand the math here. Basically, what Gerald's saying is that if you were to switch from long codes to short codes, and yeah, Gerald, if you were paying a nickel a text because you're buying the smallest package, you know, I can see where that could be problematic. But let's take a look at this for a second. Let's say 4,000 texts. I mean, let's just say 4,000 texts. That's $80 a month at 2 cents. Okay, well, at 4,000 texts, even if, let's say, you're paying 4 cents, that's $160 a month. So if you're charging 300 to 400, I don't see how your margin comes down to 0 to 25%. I don't think you're going to continue to be able to list build effectively on a long code. Just my opinion. As far as pricing on short codes, we're as competitive as they get. So I guess that's my take on that now. Are there any issues that will affect me with long codes in Spain because we don't have any shortcodes available? Not that we're aware of, Mark. You would be more in the loop than I would on that because you're there or operating there. We certainly haven't heard of any reports of carrier blocking in Spain. So let's see. Paul says he's missing an update button.
Yeah, what happens with that is our system provisions a certain amount of installs to have the update button available so they're not overwhelming our servers. Otherwise, nobody would be able to get an update.
All right. And Dave says, he thinks I probably won't read this, but I'm gonna. He says that the mobile appointment reminder system is far too small to use. Here's a video I just made. Let me see if this shows us anything so I can see what you're talking about. Let me mute this. Ah, the appointment scheduler. I gotcha. Okay. Well, first of all, what happens if you turn it in landscape mode? We put this in here really because we needed a way a good way for your clients to add appointments. Okay, now our intention in adding this in, because we feel that the best use of the system is with a ping, and they're probably already using other software. But if you could take this URL, most likely they're going to be using it on a desktop, don't you think, if they're setting appointments with it? So if you just take the same URL and give that to them as a desktop widget, then everything's good to go. I don't know how we'd fit this calendar into a portrait mode on a phone and make it look right. So our intention was that even though it lies in the mobile directory, even though it's a mobile function, if you want to give your client a nice branded way to schedule appointments within the system from their desktop, give them that URL anyway. Does that make sense?
If you have a secretary setting appointments and maybe she's always on the go in the office, maybe she should be carrying around a tablet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and I think the phone would be a little easier even to use in landscape mode. So turn it sideways. But that was our intention, and that's where we're at with it. But it really should be a desktop widget. Gerald says, are the shortcode costs, do they cover Twilio, or still we need to incur with? No, if you're sending on the shortcode, there's no cost to you in Twilio whatsoever. Phil says, make sure and point out that after people do a major update, log out and log back in. Thanks, Phil. Let's see. I have some banks in Ghana interested in my services, but Twilio doesn't cover it. Can I connect to one of the other SMS suppliers? Well, we have Tropo integration. Mark, do you know, Ed, if Tropo covers all of Africa, South Africa? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure, Mark. Too expensive. Mark, if you have an API you'd like to hook to, put in a support ticket. We'll take a look at it. We'll see how feasible it is. If it's something that...
I don't know if any of you guys watch the television show called Jungle Wars, or is it Jungle Gold?
Jungle Gold ought to be called Jungle Drama.
Yeah, if you remember when they were trying to call people on their cell phones in Ghana, they had to keep changing their SIM cards. So that might be like an ongoing issue with the telephone services in Ghana, is that not everybody can be on the same network, which is why probably not no Twilio numbers there. Yeah,
exactly. But if you have an API that we can look at that potentially serves more than just Ghana, if we can cover... oh, is this that one? Is this that GoMobi one? Was that it? I kind of remember that. Was that one, Mark? Am I thinking correctly?
I think that was South Africa, wasn't it?
That's where Ghana is.
No, Ghana is a separate country, I believe it.
Oh, I thought Ghana was a province of South Africa.
I don't think it is. I think it's its own country.
Oh. I don't know. Didn't watch enough of the Jungle Gold, apparently.
Yeah, Mark, if you can send that information over to us again, send us all the details about what countries that particular service will work with. Okay, and
we'll take a look, Mark. If you already had it in support, we'll take a look at it. If somebody didn't get back to you, I apologize, but we'll check it out. Let's see. What else, guys? Any other questions? What did we miss? Did you see on the Gold Show that you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Dude's father-in-law, Ed. Because
man,
the day they got booted out of the country, they had just paid for 2 brand new excavators and a new front end loader with his money.
Yeah, me and my girl think that Dave Thomas guy was behind a lot of that stuff that went on.
Well, he had to fund, his church with his billboard with his face on it. So, all right, let's see. I have various lists built under the long codes. Will they move over to the short codes later? Okay, yes, Gerald. The way it works is if you import a list into the system to do a short code send, there's some hoops you got to jump through. But if you've built the list inside of Wrecking Ball on long codes, you're fine, and you can actually continue to build your list on long codes if you want and send on short codes. The system will do that. So Is it possible to buy the Wootex Canada keyword and use it outside of Wrecking Ball? I have Wrecking Ball, but I'm just wondering. It has to be used through Wrecking Ball or with the new WP shortcode plugin that you guys will be getting. But we do have some API functionality, so depending on what you're trying to do, Catherine, the answer may be yes. But the Reader's Digest version is no.
Yeah, I believe she can create her own script, and if she needs to do a pass-through SMS, she can do that.
All right. Please ask Ed when he does the videos for appointment reminder to go in-depth and simplified. Will do. Will do. Sorry, I missed that one earlier. That is like the second, third time you punch that question in. I'm just seeing it again. Let's see. Ghana. So the pizza campaign will just have a phone number under the settings. Correct. You'd have to assign a phone number to the client. And then, yes, you're correct. Off topic, does the IVR system work? I can't find any documentation training for its setup. Yes, it absolutely works. I thought there was a video in here that covered it, but maybe not. Looks like that is missing. We'll need to do a video for the IVR functionality, but it's fairly easy to figure out once you get in there. If you know what the call flow needs to be, it's pretty easy to figure out. But we will get a video in there. I didn't realize that one was missing. Let's see. If you don't have an update button, make sure, just hang out for a couple of days, guys, because we will be pushing an update to you. If you don't see an update button, it wasn't a critical update, is what I'm trying to say. Can we upgrade our shortcode package at any time? Text and keywords, yes, you can. If you go to, if you're looking, I'll tell you what, Roy, put in a quick support ticket and we'll get you a webinar recording that will explain how that works. And Phil says that there is a video in the Training University. Why is my screen locked up? On the IVR system. There. So you can always click on training from your home screen, and there is a video in here. So is TextWall part of the WBSMS system? No, it's a separate standalone product, and we won't be integrating it directly into the system. So, all right, I think I got through them all. That's an hour. We'll do another one of these next week. For those of you that are new to Wrecking Ball SMS, we welcome you. Go through all the training. Of course, you can always get us at support@wreckingballmobile.com or http://support.wreckingballmobile.com with any questions that we may have missed. We'll do another one of these videos next week. For those of you also using our Project Loyalty, we've got big updates and a Project Loyalty update on Friday. So if you're not receiving Project Loyalty updates, it's because you're not part of the Thursday Think Tank. You can put in a support ticket and we can get you more information about that as well. Ed, did you have anything else that you needed to mention? I'm going to take Ed's muted response as a no. So we will see all of you guys next week. Get out there and sell some appointment billing reminders. You'll be glad that you did. I'll talk to all of you very, very soon. Have a great day, everyone.